Hello YouTube. This video is inspired by one Ronaldo de los Muertes. I know I butchered your name. I must learn how to properly say your online name. Anyway, this individual created a video entitled "The Zeitgeist Cult Plans Mass Murder." So hopefully this will inspire some deeper thought in regards to action. Throughout history, one can find many demented individuals, normally empowered by a group dynamic, resorting to violence for the advancement of supported agendas. And many times, these self-centered people, with little regards for others, fool themselves into believing this is for the betterment of mankind, that the sacrifice of the few is justification for the desired outcome. It is a shock when one is informed of people who are mentally churning the possibility of people's elimination for the advancement of peace. Normally, such announcement is followed with the question, what the fuck is this person or group thinking? We feel engorged with anger and are motivated to act. It is my opinion that it is appropriate to consider our gut reaction as valid, that we should, with discernment, explore ways to eliminate violence against another. War is not peace. This dualism is a conditioning tool used for promotion of doctrine. However, before we comport based on the ideas of right and wrong, we rarely will ask, who is the final authority in determining appropriate action? I do think this is a valid question. This is easy, very easy, if you are religious or appeal to the authority of an external faction. You can go to your holy book, missive or memory, using this information as a guide or submit to dogma. If you determine that the responsibility is yours alone, then things can get a little tricky. Ultimately, we inquire, consciously or not, is my view of the world valid? Or, by comparison, is my view of the world superior to the view of the individual who seeks to commit harm against another? We do this as if subjectivity will automatically not be in conflict with facts of reality. Enters social subjectivism and personal subjectivism. The heavily watered down definition I developed in explaining subjectivism is a doctrine that inspires the belief that reality is fluid and dwells in an indeterminate realm. This realm can be altered via, in part or whole, by sensory perception or consciousness of the perceiver. It demands that value is dependent and restricted by sensory experience. Personal subjectivism substitutes the supernatural for the objective. Social subjectivism substitutes the collective for the objective. Unfortunately, these 2 points of focus muddies the waters in their oppositional unity towards objectivity. Let's pause here. Let's examine what a human right is. Many depend on the United Nations definition when addressing this topic. I will give you my definition, which is in partial agreement with the United Nations. The short version first. You have the right to freedom from another's subjugation, and to not impose yourself in a manner which will cause physical harm and destroy property, with the ultimate property being your welfare and life essence. Now, the longer version would go like this. Human rights are rights inherent to all human beings. Structures of political or social actions forcefully administered on another destroys fair and equal treatment of human rights, making it an impossible feat to obtain. This is therefore not acknowledged as acceptable action. We are all equally entitled to our human rights without unfair treatment due to bias. These rights are independent of the state, independent of all governing bodies, and independent of ideologies. They are indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Now that you understand where my focus is, let's continue. It is my opinion we must find a way to eliminate arbitrary decision and embrace the concept of rational and objective or sensory independent ethics. I, with other like-minded individuals, accept that we cannot escape from personal responsibility of independent judgment. We, by route of reason, understand that capricious ideas are not the building blocks, but the enemy of personal responsibility. Objectivity via reason or discernment allows for human brotherhood and acts as a criterion for justice. Despite the feelings which may arise after hearing or reading reports of violation of human rights, or the possibility of usurping one's liberty, can we abandon reason for instinctive motive or unintelligible feelings? Personal scrutiny of intent and purpose in response to a stimuli is mandatory. So, who decides what is appropriate action? Reason does, by digesting the power of reality. Who sets the terms? Reality is the arbitrator of knowledge. Thanks for listening.